I think the biggest problem this entire group has had to overcome is flaky members coming and going. And luckily, you know, the right ones stuck around till the end. And now we're finally together and have the same goal in mind. And you don't necessarily get worried about the same things you used to get worried about, because you know everybody's out here and they actually want to be out here, and they want to play the show every night, and they want to meet the fans and all the stuff that comes with being a touring musician, you know. You just gotta control you, accept that you're not ever going to control other people, and just do your thing.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about persevering. And, you know, we've had so many ups and downs as a band. We've had so many things thrown against us. And, you know, through the last few years, we've really banded together as not only like coworkers, but as friends. And we've just looked at our band as a business and, you know, taken the right steps to make sure that we're always moving forward and not letting being discouraged by these negative things that come in the industry. And then right now we're in Europe. Last time we were in Europe, these shows weren't nearly as packed as they are now. Now we've got 4 shows in a row sold out. So sticking to our guns really is the key to it.
Best and worst advice. That's a tough one. I think my answer is going to be the best and worst were the same. Because in the beginning, I said just keep doing you. Screw what other people say. And when you're going through all that stuff, it's like that was the worst advice I ever got. But as long as you keep doing it, it is the best advice I've ever got.
That's amazing.
And that's the advice that I give. I'm like, hey man, just keep doing you. Do not pay attention to what anybody else says. Like it should not matter. If you want to be a musician, you're an artist. You should be yourself and screw what anybody says. I always use Van Gogh as like an example. No one bought a single painting of his until he died. Tragic, but he lives on forever because his art was actually great. Sad he never got to see it be that great, but it is now and it's shared with the world and one of the greatest artists of all time. So it's like, you know, if you're a kid trying to make it and you release an album and kids are coming to your shows saying you suck and people are doing interviews and you're getting put into magazines, it's like, hey, did you see this CD review? This is some horse shit. We rate it 1 star. We rate it 2 stars. Don't pay attention to any of that. You just keep doing you. You will progress, and eventually, just the notoriety and the time you've been around, you'll learn how to deal with it, and you'll definitely get somewhere. Because it's the ones that never quit that get to the goal.
Yeah. I would say, like, when I was taking guitar lessons when I was a young guitar player, I asked my guitar teacher, I was like, what's the one thing I need to know to be successful in the music industry? And he had done all sorts of things. He toured with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra and did his own thing in our hometown. He's a really good guitar player, he's really talented. And his thing was to be versatile. And that, to me, meant like, you know, kind of being open-minded, being versatile to different styles of music. And I think that has helped my success in the music industry because I've come across different situations where I'm like, you know, playing guitar in a hip-hop session or rock thing or doing some pop stuff, and all of that stuff and continuing to learn other styles has kind of molded together to form like our sound, really. You know, form my signature sound, which is, you know, no one else has that but me. And that comes from studying different styles of music and learning different songs and being in different situations. And then that, you know, with all that information together, you can make one really cool thing.
You gotta be open-minded, especially from the instrument side of this scene. Because it doesn't matter. There's probably always going to be a position opening up, and it might be in something you're not even into, but.
Right.
You never know.
You know?
Or as a band, the label might suggest something that you think is terrible, but it's like, these guys really want you to win just as badly as you want to win. So it's like, you have to kind of like take, all right, so you want us to wear suits or something? Okay, we'll try it out. If it doesn't work, then we'll know that doesn't work, but sometimes you have to try something different. You know?
If you keep at it, perfect your craft, and you get contacted one day, hey, there's some random pop artist that wants you to wear a suit and tie and go out and do this, and you're like, but I like metal. You gotta be, you know, you could be touring the world, you know, and making money and playing shows and playing music. That's all we've ever wanted to do.
So many much.
I would shake my face like Billy Madison and go, stay as long as you can. That's exactly what I would do. I'd just be like, it'll be okay, man. It's gonna be okay.
Just stick tight, yeah.
Yep.
Just keep on keeping on.
I think it's a good mixture of both. I think there's certain things you should definitely handle more as business. The band is a unit. I think we operate more on instinct. But when it's other things, you definitely learn that you can't really trust anyone.
Right.
You have to look out for your own, and you have to make sure that business and friendship is separated, and that whoever that business partner, that friend is, understands that, because at the end of the day, if it's dragging you down, if the job's not getting done, that's only going to hurt our business, which is the band.
Right. And we treat it kind of like a democracy. Like, we have a group text message of just the core band members, and every decision we run by each other. And, you know, I think having a close-knit group of people that you trust, like, we trust each other on a lot of these decisions, such as like music videos, merchandise, songwriting, all the different creative aspects of being in a band. We like take each other's opinions like completely, and so I think it's just, you know, finding those
sucks
people
that it's
that
an
work.
even number right now.
Right.
Sometimes it's two against two.
It's 2 and 2.
It's like, what are we gonna do?
How do you deal with that?
How I deal with it is hopefully Robert's on the other side of the two. Like, let's say it's me and Kevin and then Robert and TJ, because I could just yell at Robert and hope that he changes his mind eventually.
Yeah.
Like, fine, whatever, dude, we'll do that. Now if it's me and Robert, I get really scared because I'm like, shit, we're gonna lose.
Robert's always on the fence.
Because TJ will yell at Robert. Robert's always on the fence. He'll make a decision, but if somebody's like going at him and making all these valid points, he's like, I can see what you're saying now. It's like, no, Robert, stay with me, dude, please. You just get the job done. That's the best advice I could ever give anyone, because I'm not sure how other bands have done it, but you're gonna go at each other's throats all the time. But as long as you have the same goal in your heart, it's gonna work out. I know that there's hugely successful bands out there that don't even talk to each other. They tour on different tour buses. Yeah. And let me tell you, me and Robert used to be and we still are kind of polar opposites for each other, but at each other's throats every day. Every single day when I first got in the band for years. And now we've never been closer because we just understand each other. And it's like, you know what, I get where you're coming from. And we ultimately have the same goal in mind. Let's go up there and kill it. You know, there's just, people don't see, to understand that everybody has a personal life. Everybody has stuff that's going on. And you don't know what's going on with them. So it's like, you can't walk around with sort of this chip on your shoulder. And maybe somebody's in a bad mood and you take it personally and then you start attacking each other and it just blows up. It's more like, you know, hey, why don't you just care about that person, you know? It's not that hard. You're like, hey man, you okay today? Like,
communication
what's going on?
is a universal solvent.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
Wow.
I definitely used to do that a lot. So sometimes, you know, you keep stuff inside.
And it's something we're always working on. We're always trying to, like, all right, guys, now we got to talk. Like, it's easy to be hungry on tour. You got no sleep, and you're going like every day, hitting it hard. And we can go at each other's throats just like brothers do, even. And yeah, at the end of the day, we just have to remind ourselves to like step back for a second and then talk it out.
Yeah.
You know, when everyone's like level-headed.
I remember I had a horrible night one night with personal stuff going on in my life, and I'll keep so much stuff bottled inside from throughout the whole tour that I was just waking up and remembering how shit my night was, and I'm like, ah, and I just hear Robert out in the front lounge trying to change the set list or do something, and I was like, no, for my butt, like he mentions my name, and I'm like, you know I can hear you, no, and he's like, man, fuck you, crap. He must have been having a bad day too, because he immediately came back at me. I'm like, fuck me, fuck you. I jumped out of my bunk and came at him. I think if TJ and Kevin were there, they were not there by the time I got out of the bunk. They had bolted. And 5 minutes later, we were giving each other a hug. Like, hey man, you alright? What's going on?
Yeah.
But it's just little things like that.
Yeah.
Everybody's on a remaining humble, because people that think they've already reached perfection, then they've already gotten there. They ain't gonna go any further. The only way to go from that point is down. So if you're always working on yourself and always pushing for more, whether you think you have it all or you don't, you will continue to get more and you'll continue to get better. But as soon as you try to believe in your mind that I did it, it's perfect, everything I'm doing is perfect, I'm a shit, then it's just, there's only one way to go from there, and that's down. Where they came from.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What would you say?
One thing for one musician to never forget would be to practice. I see a lot of, like, it sounds funny, but I see a lot of young bands out there and they like look the part and they almost sound the part, and it's like, I just can tell these guys are like, they don't practice their instruments, they like skip that whole step now. I don't know why people are doing it. I feel like back in the 80s, people like had their vinyls and they would like rewind it, learn every single lick to like an Eddie Van Halen solo as a guitar player, and they're using their ears to train their mind, and they can, when they hear a song in their head or a melody, they're able to transcribe it down to their instrument. And now people just go on YouTube and they learn a cover and they don't know why anything works, and like they don't know the harmony through their own ears, and you know they're like kind of losing some of it, losing something.
It becomes more of a show.
And then what you
And they
get,
think they're perfect.
and what you get are all these copycats. So it's like, you got this guy, it sounds exactly like that band, and this band sounds like that band. And then you turn on the radio now, it's like, there's only a few bands to me at the moment that are even sounding a little bit different from each other. And I think it's a lot of the copycat thing and not trying to push themselves as musicians first.
And you eventually, time always tells who the musicians that want to be musicians are. You know,
Yeah, I'm not saying everyone needs to be a shredder.
It's just over our 10 years, I've seen and toured with a lot of bands, and I'm like, I don't get it. Is this good? And it's like they've just progressively gotten better. You know, now I'm fans of some of these bands. You know, I go out and buy their albums. So
Yeah.
I mean, that goes back to what we were saying earlier. Just stick to it. Stick to it. Perfect your craft. And
Play out.
always strive for more.
That's another thing. Well, I see a lot of young people recording hundreds of songs in their bedroom. They don't want to play like that cafe or that open mic. I think you should play all that stuff. Play it out as much as possible. Even if there's in front of 5 of your friends at like a local bar or something, because that's where you're going to learn, you know, what a good song is, or how to perform, or how to communicate with an audience.
It's a lot easier to engage a large audience than it is to engage a small one.
Yeah, I can imagine so.
So you learn how to get a small one into it, no problem doing it with any size.
Exactly.